Attorney Sarah Papantonio of the 11 Papantonio Rafferty law firm. Sarah, even if LegalZoom's shares didn't jump 35% on its recent IPO date, CEO Dan Wernikoff smells money. Listen to this.
Either have a very low-cost solution which doesn't provide any guidance, or you have to go all the way to the extreme of now you have to pay for an expert and you're worried about the time you're spending with the expert. And so we try to get right in the middle of those two opportunities and use technology really to make the expert that much more efficient. The market itself is extremely large. We're talking about a 50 billion-ish SAM. And today the digital consumption is extremely low. So when you think about legal services, we only have 8% of our services are delivered online versus other categories like accounting, where you see much more adoption of online solutions. So that's the opportunity that's in front of us, and when we get really excited.
Sarah, two-part question. For which, if any, legal services is online delivery useful, and for which is it a false economy? And how has this Zoom era changed your firm's practice?
Well, Holland, LegalZoom is a great way. It's going to be great for small businesses, great for people to avoid spending money on paper-pushing type lawyers. These are going to be the lawyers who we pay huge fees to fill out documents or do estate planning, business formation, taxes, all kinds of things like that. We pay tons and tons of money to these lawyers to do things that most of us could probably just figure out with a little bit of guidance. And this company is providing that access, and they're providing that guidance to people through affordable legal services. I think you're going to have some lawyers who fear that this platform is going to take over the legal field entirely, but I don't see that being the case. This is very innovative. It's never going to be a full substitution to legal representative, and that's because, lucky for us lawyers, lawmakers have made laws very difficult to grasp. They've given us a lot of job security, and so they've made the law very nuanced. So LegalZoom, this program is going to be so great for small businesses with heavy paperwork who just need that extra push. But LegalZoom is never going to get up and be able to argue a case to a jury. They're never going to be able to fight a motion to dismiss on a multi-million-dollar corporation. But the thing that we need to grab from LegalZoom is how important it is. The point is that we as lawyers are so behind the curve in terms of adjusting to the the Zoom world, adjusting to the technological world. Like we heard, only 8% of our services are done online, and that's just not okay. See, we are in 2021, and we have got to make these adjustments. And I think LegalZoom, this program, is going to push our industry into making those adjustments. So in the end, I think this program is very good for the industry. We've seen how important it is through this massive pandemic and through the Zoom era. So we certainly are going to try to take as much advantage of it as we can and push it.
We've all gotten virtual during the shutdown. Has your firm increased what it does online?
Absolutely. Right now we're living in the era of Zoom depositions, Zoom trials. And what we found is it gives us a lot more time and efficiency to focus on the clients, and a lot more time, spent working on the case. We're not traveling. We're not spending all of this time, talking to, just wasting time. The virtual world has done so much for our legal profession. It's made us so much more efficient. So we can't stop using it. We've got to keep pushing forward, and our law firm certainly is taking full advantage.